Alright, so my Jets Super Bowl pick didn't turn out so great, and we're only in week 1. I can only laugh off the pain. Jets fans, I jinxed you. I'm sorry for your suffering. Would the Jets have won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? Man, I really wanted to find out. Every part of this Jets team is elite, excluding obviously that offensive line.
Alright, let's do this one last time.
Even though it feels like cheating, I'm gonna redo my playoff picks, Super Bowl representatives, and make 2 award winner changes because week 1 has already revealed so much. Am I overreacting to the results of week 1? Perhaps, but it's an adapt or die kind of world. I won't do this every week. I'm only gonna redo these picks just the once. I mean, I have to, right? Unless Aaron Rodgers finds a sensu bean, the team I picked to win the Super Bowl is done for. And the team I chose to be the NFC representative couldn't stop a car even if it was parked. Let's start with the changes to my award winners. Without Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson will still ball out, but he's not gonna put up the kind of numbers that are needed for Fantasy Player of the Year or Offensive Player of the Year. Instead, it's gonna be Tyreek Hill. We already know what kind of player Tua is as a quarterback. The only concern is injury, but as we can see, anybody can get hurt. We might as well just pick the best player to win the award. Tyreek is gunning for 2,000 yards receiving, and well, he's currently on pace for 3,440 yards. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he doesn't get over 3,000 yards, but he will break that 2,000 yard barrier. Tyreek Hill wins Offensive Player of the Year and Fantasy Player of the Year. The Seattle Seahawks have tons of talent on their team, and yet they traded being bad against the run for now being bad against the pass. The Rams showed exactly how to beat the Seahawks. Attack the middle of the field, run the football in the red zone, don't give the Seahawks offense a chance to possess the football, and put pressure on Geno Smith. I dumbly thought that Geno, who was good under pressure last year, would get the ball to JSN in critical third down situations. How foolish of me. What does this mean? The Seahawks aren't going to be the 2 seed in the NFC. They aren't going to win the NFC West. They aren't going to make the playoffs. Pete Carroll is not going to win Coach of the Year. Dan Campbell is. I still have the Detroit Lions winning 11 games and winning the NFC North for the first time since 1993. I'm extremely confident in that prediction. Their defense is much improved, and Aiden Hutchinson looks like the next elite pass rusher in the NFL. The Chiefs might have been missing Travis Kelce and Chris Jones in week 1, but the Lions are for real. The old Lions would have lost this game. Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year. There isn't a player in the NFL that's not on my favorite team that I root for more than Justin Fields. It's time to admit he hasn't made the improvements he needs to. Too often he is a one-read quarterback and slow to process information. He runs into sacks, isn't accurate, has a slow drop back, which is something I never noticed before JT O'Sullivan pointed it out. He doesn't get the ball out of his hand quickly. He doesn't use his legs to create throwing lanes. And when he does escape the pocket using his legs, he looks down at the ground. You have to keep your eyes up. The surrounding talent isn't doing him any favors. I'm looking at you, Chase Claypool. Do you even want to be an NFL player? If Fields had more talent around him, would things be different? It doesn't matter because you have to live in reality. The reality is that the Bears just aren't a good football team. Top down, left to right. I was feeling good about the Bears before all the offseason hype, but I guess I did drink the Kool-Aid a bit and pick with my heart instead of with my head. That's a huge miss by me. All criticism is completely warranted. The Bears aren't going to make the playoffs. They're more likely to be the worst team in the NFL. As I said, there isn't a player in the NFL I want to succeed more than Justin Fields. Maybe Josh Allen because Bills fans have absolutely suffered enough, but he just hasn't grown as a quarterback. The O-line isn't improved, and the coaches aren't doing him any favors. I knew all of this when I picked the Bears. I tricked myself. I saw the additions they made this offseason to the O-line. I've seen bursts of solid quarterback play from Justin Fields. It just hasn't all come together. Would having Tevin Jenkins change any or all of that? I'd like to think so, but I know I'd just be lying to myself. The Bears have some serious issues they need to address. It's not all on Justin Fields, but a good chunk of it is. He's the quarterback. He's in year 3. He's going to get the blame. If you read my playoff team's article, you know I thought the Dallas defense would be improved from last year because of Stephon Gilmore, but I wasn't expecting them to be this good. People can say that it was just the Giants, but wow, that Dallas defense looks exceptional. I thought the Eagles would have enough talent to overcome history and be a repeat NFC East champ, but not quite have the talent to make it back to the Super Bowl and circumvent that history. I've changed my mind. NFL fans aren't going to like this, but this Cowboys team is good enough to unseat the Eagles in the NFC East. The Jets losing Aaron Rodgers changed a lot. I have 4 new playoff teams from my original offseason predictions. I now have the Rams and Packers as wildcard teams in the NFC. I previously had them just missing the playoffs, but now they win one more game and make it. The Browns and Dolphins are also now playoff teams for me. The Dolphins can't stop the run, but other teams can't stop the Dolphins. Waddle isn't even all the way healthy, and they already have a top 3 offense, and they still might trade for Jonathan Taylor. The Browns defense is legit. They lost Jack Conklin, but DeJuan Jones held his own on the offensive line. They're exceptional at running the football, even better than advertised. This team is perfect for cold weather in November and December. I've left a few things as they were. The Chiefs Chiefs are still the 1 seed. The Jags are still the 2 seed. Trevor Lawrence is still going to win MVP. The Bengals are the 3, but now I have the Dolphins as the division winner in the AFC East. The Bills are a wildcard team. The Browns are a wildcard team. And even as bad as the Steelers look, they're still going to slip into the playoffs as a 7th seed. As for my NFC predictions, I know I was all in on the Seattle Seahawks, but if you lose your 2 tackles and your offense can't do anything, that's not a recipe for success. They also fixed their issue stopping the run, but then apparently can't stop the pass now. The worry I had about Brock Purdy's elbow has been alleviated after seeing how well he performed in a regular season game. I've changed and now have the 49ers as the 1 seed. The Cowboys are good enough to overtake the Eagles and win the NFC East. There hasn't been a repeat division winner in the NFC East in 18 years, and I should have taken that into account when I made my initial predictions. The Lions are still the 3 seed and will win the NFC North. I still believe in the Falcons, but Bijan Robinson is just built different. I have the Eagles as the 5th seed and a wildcard team. I now have the Packers as the 6th seed. Apparently, they don't need Aaron Rodgers to still own the Bears. It might just be a flash in the pan, but Jordan Love seems to have taken a huge step in his development. He runs the offense exactly how it's supposed to be run. And then the death of the Rams was greatly exaggerated. I thought that they would be a competent football team this year. I had them 8-9, but now I think that they can make it to the playoffs. If Cooper Kupp can come back healthy, this offense will be an elite offense. Based on my new playoff teams, we're going to get some interesting playoff matchups. 3 wildcard games are going to be between division rivals. The Browns will get the best of the Bengals. The Dolphins are going to get revenge on the Bills from last year's playoff defeat, and the Lions are going to send the Packers packing. In the divisional round, MVP Trevor Lawrence will lose to Tua and the explosive Dolphins offense. The Chiefs will look sluggish early versus the Browns, but in the 3rd quarter, they will explode to put the game out of reach. The Cowboys will finally win in the divisional round, and the 49ers will beat the Eagles at full strength in a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. Conference Championship weekend will see the 49ers run game be too much for the Cowboys, and the Dolphins will lose to the Chiefs on a last-second field goal at Arrowhead. The 49ers and Kyle Shanahan will hoist the Lombardi Trophy, getting revenge for their Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs in 2020. And Brock Purdy's name of Mr. Irrelevant will further become a badge of honor. The 49ers will beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 27-23. Note to self and anyone listening, don't pick one of the most cursed franchises of all time to win the Super Bowl. All it brings is pain. Jets fans, all I did was pick y'all to win the Super Bowl, and I'm distraught. I can't imagine how you feel. Maybe next year. Thank you for your time, and try to stay positive, Jets fans.